Welcome back to Yes Brainer. Imagine this. A new employee, fresh out of college, joins a high-performing team at a renowned tech company. This young professional, let's call him Sam, is eager but inexperienced. His manager, a seasoned veteran in the industry, sees potential in Sam and sets high expectations for him right from the get-go. The manager doesn't simply task Sam with mundane entry-level work. Instead, he entrusts him with significant responsibilities and challenging projects. He expresses his belief in Sam's capability to deliver, fostering an environment of trust and respect. Sam, in turn, feels motivated and compelled to rise to the occasion. Over time, Sam's performance begins to improve dramatically. He starts to take on more complex tasks, contributes valuable insights during team meetings, and even leads a successful project. This isn't because Sam is inherently more gifted than his peers. In fact, his college grades were rather average. The remarkable improvement in his performance can be attributed to his manager's high expectations. By setting the bar high, the manager created a situation where Sam had no choice but to step up. The expectations became a self-fulfilling prophecy. Sam started to believe in his own potential because someone else did. He worked harder, learned faster, and gradually evolved into a high-performing team member. This is a classic example of the power of belief shaping reality. This phenomenon, where high expectations lead to improved performance, is known as the Pygmalion Effect. It's named after the Greek myth of Pygmalion, a sculptor who fell in love with his own creation. His belief in his creation was so strong, it came to life. Just like the manager's belief in Sam's potential brought out the best in him. In essence, the Pygmalion Effect is about the transformative power of belief and expectation. It's about how our perceptions can shape our realities and influence our actions. And it's about how, by believing in someone's potential, we can inspire them to achieve greater things. This, dear audience, is the Pygmalion Effect in action. So, where does this fascinating concept originate from? Let's travel back in time to ancient Greece. Our tale begins with Pygmalion, a master sculptor and king of Cyprus, who had become disillusioned with the imperfections of human beings, particularly women. Determined to create perfection, Pygmalion set to work, sculpting a woman of such exquisite beauty and grace that she seemed more divine than human. He named her Galatea. But as Pygmalion worked, a strange thing happened. He found himself falling in love with this lifeless form of ivory. He adorned her with jewelry, draped her in fine clothes, and treated her as if she were a living woman. His belief in her was so strong that he wished for nothing more than for his beloved Galatea to come to life. One day, during a festival honoring Aphrodite, the goddess of love, Pygmalion made a bold wish. He asked the goddess to give him a wife like his ivory maiden. Touched by his love and devotion, Aphrodite granted his wish. When Pygmalion returned to his studio, he found Galatea transformed into a living, breathing woman. His belief in her had brought her to life. This ancient tale is the namesake of the psychological concept we're discussing today. Pygmalion's belief in his creation was so profound that it breathed life into Galatea, turning fiction into reality. In the same vein, the Pygmalion Effect suggests that our expectations of others can influence their behavior and performance. Just as Pygmalion's belief awakened Galatea, so can our belief in someone's potential inspire them to reach greater heights. By setting high expectations, we can encourage others to strive for excellence, and in turn they may surprise us by exceeding even our wildest expectations. This is the power of belief, the essence of the Pygmalion Effect. Just as Pygmalion's belief breathed life into Galatea, so can our expectations influence the behavior and performance of others. Fast forward to the 20th century, the Pygmalion Effect finds its place in the realm of social psychology. Enter Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson, two psychologists who brought the Pygmalion Effect to the forefront with their groundbreaking Pygmalion in the Classroom experiment conducted in 1968. They administered what seemed to be an ordinary test to elementary school students. But in reality, this test was a cleverly disguised IQ test. The researchers randomly selected 1/5 of the students and informed the teachers that these students were on the brink of an intellectual growth spurt. Now here's the kicker: these students were chosen at random, with no actual indication of their impending intellectual growth. The teachers, however, unaware of this, had higher expectations for these students. And guess what happened? At the end of the school year, these students were retested, and they showed significantly greater improvement compared to their peers. But why? Were these students inherently smarter? Not at all. The improvement stemmed from the teachers' expectations influencing their behavior and interactions with the students. The teacher's belief in the student's potential led to increased support, encouragement, and opportunities for those students, which ultimately resulted in improved performance. So, the Pygmalion Effect was at work. The teacher's expectations had shaped the student's reality, proving that the power of belief can influence outcomes. Another notable experiment demonstrating the Pygmalion Effect was the expectancy study, conducted by Robert Rosenthal and Kermit Fode in 1963. In this experiment, researchers told elementary school teachers that certain students had been identified as academic spurters based on test scores. Yet again, these students were selected at random. Over time, these so-called spurters showed greater intellectual gains compared to their peers, reinforcing the power of teachers' expectations on student performance. Both these experiments provide compelling evidence for the Pygmalion Effect, illustrating how expectations can shape reality and influence outcomes. So it was not the student's inherent abilities but the teacher's expectations that led to the observed improvement. But the Pygmalion Effect doesn't just apply to education. Let's pivot our focus to the workplace. Robert Rosenthal and Kermit Fode conducted another significant study, known as the expectancy study. They informed a group of supervisors that certain employees had been identified as high potential based on test scores. In reality, these employees were chosen at random. As time passed, the so-called high potentials exhibited greater performance gains compared to their peers. This study illuminates the powerful influence of expectations in the workplace. Leaders who believe in their team members' potential may provide more opportunities, constructive feedback, and encouragement. This in turn can boost the employees' performance levels, essentially turning the leader's positive expectations into a self-fulfilling prophecy. The Pygmalion Effect also extends to our personal relationships. Consider a parent who constantly affirms their child's capabilities. That child is likely to feel more confident and may strive to meet their parents' expectations, thereby enhancing their own abilities. Conversely, a child who constantly hears they can't achieve something is likely to internalize that message, and their performance may suffer as a result. In romantic relationships, partners who believe in each other's potential can foster growth and development. Positive expectations can lead to more supportive behaviors, which in turn can enhance the other partner's self-esteem and performance in various areas of life. Even in friendships, the Pygmalion Effect can come into play. Friends who affirm each other's abilities and potential can inspire each other to reach new heights, reinforcing the power of belief and positive expectations. From classrooms to boardrooms to living rooms, the Pygmalion Effect is a pervasive and powerful force. It reminds us that our beliefs and expectations about others can shape their reality, directly influencing their behavior and performance. As these studies demonstrate, the Pygmalion Effect can greatly influence outcomes in various aspects of life. So, what have we learned about the Pygmalion Effect today? We've journeyed from the realm of Greek mythology where the sculptor Pygmalion's belief breathed life into his creation, Galatea, to the classrooms of the 20th century where the expectations of teachers were found to influence the academic achievements of their students. We've seen how psychologists Robert Rosenthal and Lenore Jacobson demonstrated this effect through their groundbreaking experiment. They showed that students randomly labeled as being on the cusp of an intellectual growth spurt ended up performing better, influenced by their teachers' increased support and expectations. We've also explored how this phenomenon extends beyond the classroom, shaping behaviors and outcomes in the workplace and interpersonal relationships. The Pygmalion Effect underscores the powerful role of expectations in shaping reality and the importance of belief in unlocking potential. Remember, just as Pygmalion's belief brought Galatea to life, our expectations can breathe life into potential, shaping reality in the process.